Rev up your engines! What, you want the truth about hybrids? I'll give you the truth about hybrids. Here's one, the guy's the original owner. He's got 224,000 miles, and I'll tell you everything that's happened to it so you can make a decision if you think you're gonna buy one. Okay, he's the only guy who's ever driven. It's his. Got 224,000 miles. Still gets upper 40s gas mileage, going 80, 90 miles an hour on the highway, which he says he does all the time. Now, here's the history of it. Of course, they're hybrid cars. So when we go under the hood, you can see hybrid synergy drive. It has a 4-cylinder Atkinson cycle engine and an electric motor. Here's some of the controls for the electric motor, and it has a hybrid battery. 224,000 miles, still has the original hybrid battery. He hasn't had to buy that. Now, they used to be super expensive. Now he said they got them down to maybe 2,700 bucks. Most people are still gonna shy away at that price, but when they first came out and you had to replace one of these, you were looking at 6, 7, 8, sometimes even more. Of course, it's a smaller hybrid battery and the prices are coming down. This is not an electric car where it's running the whole car all the time. So they're much smaller. The full electric cars still have batteries that'll go anywhere from $6,000 to $20-something thousand. This is a smaller battery, and there's aftermarket people for them, so the batteries aren't as bad as they used to be, but he's still operating on the original one. And since it has regenerative braking, when you slow down, it regenerates electricity, less wear on your brakes. So he only had to replace the brakes on the 4 wheels one time recently. They do last a long time. You're going to spend less money fixing brakes. There's no arguing that. Now, a short time ago, he did have to put $4 grand into it because the electronic braking system broke down. This brake system is very complex, and some of the electronic modules went out. Now, Toyota had kind of a soft recall on it, but they refused to fix his for free. So he had to fork out the $4 grand on that. And he did have to have the coolant pump changed for the coolant system for the battery. That's a known thing that breaks on these. And of course, the Toyota dealer took him for a ride, charged him 900 bucks. I mean, I could get the pumps for 90 bucks, put them on in less than an hour, you know. Of course, they reamed him at the Toyota dealer. Since then, he's found a private mechanic that does stuff a lot better for where he lives, so he didn't have to worry about that anymore. Still got the original electronic air conditioning compressor, and it still works. Now, these things might be a bit tougher than you think, because June last year, he was driving them from behind a truck, woof, giant piece of metal came, smashed into it, had to have the front clip changed, the radiator, the condenser, the headlights and all that, but the guy did a really good job putting it back together. It tracks good. You'd be surprised, because they may be the economy, save the world eco car, but they're pretty solidly built, as you can see on the door. Okay, it's made in Japan. It even says made in Japan here, but you know, you go by the VIN numbers, you can see J means it's made in Japan. And with 224,000 miles, yeah, you get a little wear on the edge of the seat, but hey, they're still comfy. And it's not a massively giant car, but there's room enough in the back seat. When you flip the seats down with the trunk, you got a reasonable amount of space. And the geese agree, how they go. And when you get inside, plastic's not cracked. You turn it on, of course, not much happens because it's in electric mode now. The man's not lying. His average speed was 62 miles an hour. He was getting 46.4 miles per gallon. Not bad for a vehicle that's got 224,000 miles on it. Now you heard the motor just started because, of course, we're just sitting there, the air conditioning's on. It's going to turn the motor on and off now and then. And you can see it's an old car. It's 13 years old, but the backup camera's still working. And of course, it's got an electronic parking brake. Everything is electronic on these things. There's a speedometer showing it's got 224,492 miles. Big sunroof, had a little bit of class through it here. And of course, when you turn it on, you got a choice of modes. You can go power mode if you want to go the fastest, get worse gas mileage, eco mode, and EV, and it tells you what's happening there. Now, if you wonder about the EV mode, it's not an all-electric car, really. He said the furthest he ever went was a couple miles on electricity. And believe me, you'll be doing it at a very slow speed, too. As soon as you try to get going, the motor will turn on to act it off. You're creeping along when you're in EV mode in this. This is not a plug-in hybrid. It's a 2010. The plug-in hybrids, I've seen some of those go 25 miles at lower speeds. You're not going to be going all that fast, but it gives it the boost to get all that mileage and enough power to get it going. They're not particularly slow because they're combining the Atkinson cycle gasoline engine with the electric motor, which has a lot of torque, so they take off perfectly fine. They're not like the early ones, which were truthfully extremely slow. I had a customer who used to have the original one. Man, I got scared taking that thing on the highway when I was road testing that. These, they have no problem getting you where you're going. And aside from the $4,000 electronic braking job he had to get done because Toyota wouldn't cover it under their kind of little secret warranty, he hasn't put much money into this thing at all. But being an electronic hybrid computer-controlled car, let's hook up the old computer and see what kind of shape it's actually in. It's a Prius, North America, 2010. We're waiting for it to scan. You can see it's relatively utilitarian car. No real fancy bells and whistles, but it's comfy enough. My machine's checking, it's showing what we're checking here. These things have a lot of feedback in them. If you're into electronics, you can spend your lifetime analyzing what's happening in this car. And look, everything passes. Everything. Except the navigation system. Okay, let's look at the navigation system. And it says, people have disconnected the USB box. Kind of meaningless stuff. Somebody might have and never reset it, so we'll erase the codes. Somebody probably forgot to reset it. Look at live data here. Started looking through for any odd stuff. Now the long-term fuel trim is 2.34, meaning it's running a little lean. It has to add a little fuel, which is kind of typical for these because people are so into better gas mileage. They'd rather have them run a little bit leaner, which these tend to do. I wouldn't be looking for a problem in this car. The gas mileage is the same that it always was, so you'd rather have this thing run a little bit leaner. And these Atkinson engines are notorious for that anyway. The engine's in perfect shape. All the cylinders have the same speed. 51,199 right down. Not even off by a tiny bit. They're all exactly the same. We'll look at the hybrid control too, since it's a hybrid car. Now the stated charge is 58.4%. This vehicle has 224,000 miles on it. The hybrid battery is obviously worn somewhat, right? It's that old, but it's still going down the road. Since it's not an all-electric car, you don't care that it loses some of its capability. In an all-electric car, if you only had 58%, you'd lose a ton of range. This, of course, is a gasoline engine with a hybrid add-on, so it's still working good enough. Eventually, if you kept this long enough, you'd have to buy another battery for the hybrid system, but it's still operating good enough. And realize it's not like it's been sitting. He drove it 250 miles to get here. See, there's an awful lot of hybrid information on this. Look at this. Here we go. We're still going. There's a heck of a lot of hybrid information. These are very complex vehicles. That's the one real problem of them is, when it comes to the hybrid systems, hardly any mechanics really know the ins and out of them to really be able to work on them correctly without taking a lot of guesswork. Now, it's a Toyota. They don't break down all that much, but when they do break down, you need a guy with a machine like this who knows how to operate it to figure out what's going on. And realize, of course, the parts will be rather expensive because you're not going to be able to get them other places. That's why he had to spend $4,000 for that brake electronic module stuff that he did a few months ago. It cost him $4,000. Basically, he was stuck at having Toyota do it at their prices. What can you do? The number of history codes is 0. So this hybrid system has not had a problem in 224,000 miles. So you gotta say, it's pretty good quality. So here we go. We'll take the parking brake off and check it out. It's electronic, but it's an old one. Look. It has a foot parking brake. Whoa! Now you hear the engine is on now. And yeah, they're relatively low to the ground because they want to get good gas mileage. That's why this gets such good gas mileage. If you put it up higher, you're going to get worse gas mileage. That's why the hybrids like a Camry, they're not getting the gas mileage this gets because they're higher up in the air. And of course, any SUV is never going to get this kind of gas mileage because it's just not aerodynamic. It's too tall. Still a fun little car to drive around in. Still has the original struts on all 4 wheels. Shows you the Toyota quality, right? The regenerating brakes hum now. Now, you always heard weird noises like that. That's what regenerative brakes do. That's normal. Now, he did say he had to change the front wheel bearings. They wore out. That's typical on these. All the weights in the front wheel bearings will wear out long before the rear ones, unless you hit stuff in the back because of that. But still, I mean, he only had to do that once. Now we're coming to my little drag strip, so we're gonna turn the eco mode off. Now we're in power mode. Let's see what kind of power this thing has. You can see it says power mode up there in the green. We get to the little drag strip. Nobody's behind us. And take in consideration this thing has 224,000 miles on it. And since there's nobody behind us, we come to a stop. And here we go. Off to the drag races. Not screaming, but you know, it gets you where you're going. But hey, it got 0 to 50 fast enough, you know. And when you're going down the highway and you need to pass somebody, step on the gas, it starts moving forward faster. Look at the speedometer. Once it gets going at a decent clip. It's not like the original ones, to say the least. So here we have it. 224,000 miles on this Prius. Still runs pretty darn good. Yeah, the hybrid battery is wearing, as you saw the computer showed, but it still works. You got 46.5 miles a gallon driving over here, going 75, 80 miles an hour. You can't argue that. Yes, he did have to spend $4 on the electronic braking stuff that Toyota, in reality, should have fixed. That's the problem with these soft recall stuff that they do. They don't technically have to do it on everyone's car, and it's a choice by choice thing. So that's something that I don't like. If they made something wrong, they should stand behind it and replace it. But they did for other people, they just didn't for him. It's gone quite some distance. The original battery's still working. Now you know a little bit more about how long these things can last, what kind of money you might have to put into them. Just realize it's made in Japan. You always want something made in Japan. It's going to be better made. Interesting enough, guy who owns this is an engineer, electrical engineer. He spent 3 years in Japan. That's why he bought this car. He saw how the Japanese made things. That he said they're in meetings if there's a problem. They want it all written down. They got to decide what to do to fix the problem. And they fix the problems in these things. So I tell you, they're serious about building their cars over there. But if you want a Japanese car, you're better off getting one that's made in Japan by Japanese people. That's just the way that it goes. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.